The tournament was called 4 Stock 33 and only had 12 entrants. While 12 entrants is considered a small amount, and it is, there were some noteworthy players. These include, but are not limited to, Canis, a Marth player with multiple top 8 results in the tournament series' history, Ghanem54, who made it to grand finals of a previous tournament, and Kyoki, who has made top 8 in a similar tournament series called C-Stick. This includes many newcomers with possibly unseen potential, so even with only 12 entrants, it wasn't gonna be a free bracket. Now with that in mind, let's look at the sets I played. The first set of pools I played was a best of 3 against Canis. Now what I neglected to mention about Canis was that he was kind of a bracket demon for me. The set count between me and him before the tournament was 2-5 in Canis' favor, with the only wins I had over him being in 4 Stock 20 and 4 Stock 30. And sadly, they said it would be no different, with Canis winning 2-0. After that, seeing Canis win so majorly over me, I dreaded the thought of seeing him in the bracket. But I had to carry on. So then I went up against a Yoshi player named Revere, who had actually put up a decent challenge before. Luckily though, with an SD in the first game, I was able to win 2-0 over them, finishing up pools. Then came the main event, bracket. Luckily, with my placement in pools, I was automatically put into winners quarterfinals. It was there where I would play against someone I had never played against before, Zero. Now at first, I didn't think much of it. I saw that they played Jigglypuff and thought, oh, it's just a regular Jigglypuff player. Then they pulled out Ness. For those unfamiliar, Ness, in Super Smash Bros. Melee, is considered a low tier, which is obviously not very good. However, he can be a matchup check if you're unfamiliar with the matchup, and unfortunately, I was. Anyways, let's get into the games. The first game was on Battlefield against his Jigglypuff, and it was very close, with stocks being taken back to back. But the match ended up going in my favor. With the second game, where I would play against their Ness on FOD, would go the same way. With the set win against Zero, I was able to move into winner semifinals, where I faced Ghanem. Now, I wasn't looking forward to this set, because Ghanem had already beaten me before in a previous tournament where I only took 1 game off of them. But this set would be different. Different in the way of I got 3-0'd instead of 3-1. With that set loss, I was sent into losers, where if I lost 1 more set, the run would be over. So I knew I would have to lock in. My losers run started very similarly to my winners run, because I would run into another person I hadn't played against before, 12B, or 12V SSBM. But unlike my set with Zero, I wouldn't get to play their secondary, their Pikachu. Nope, they instead played Fox, the best character in the game. Which I wasn't dreading too much. Yes, while Fox does have a winning matchup against Luigi, and the blue hexagon of death makes his life suck, Luigi does have a good punish game on Fox, so the matchup isn't absolutely terrible. The first game would be played on Dreamland, where I would ultimately lose because of a missed up B setup. But the second game on Dreamland would end up going in my favor, evening up the match count. The last 2 games would end up being played on Pokemon Stadium, and the set would end with me winning both games. After that, I felt pretty confident. That was until I saw Canis in losers semifinals. Now, I was nervous, especially considering the fact that the same person I faced then beat me just an hour ago without losing a single match. To be completely honest, I totally expected to lose here. Canis had ended my run 4 other times before, and I expected this to be no different. But even if I was going to lose, I was going to do my best, and I wasn't going to go down without a fight. Then, the set began. first game would take place on Battlefield, and I would convincingly take the first game with a JV3. Then, Canis would counterpick to Final Destination for the next game. Now, I can only assume, but I think the main reason why he counterpicked it was because I tend to use platforms a lot. Anyways, platforms or no platforms, however, I would end up taking the game, meaning that I would only have to win one more match to win the set. But Canis wouldn't make it that easy, taking me to FD and winning the match, putting him on the board. But now, I had the stage pick, and I would opt to go on Dreamland, in hopes that it would help. And lo and behold, it did.
Ooh, no DI on the down throw, and doesn't make it back. CG gonna take that one.
This set win was not something to look over for me. Not only did I beat the person who has stumped me time and time again, but I got into losers finals, where I now had the chance to make it into grand finals. So I couldn't fumble now. Now I face Ghanem in losers finals, with a very similar situation like the one I had with Canis. Just like Canis, Ghanem had beaten me before without losing a match. But the one difference between the two was that I had never taken his head off the Ghanem. Ever. You see, even though Canis was my bracket demon, I'd still beaten Canis before, and at least the last time I lost to him, it went to a Game 5 last stock, making it very close. Ghanem, however, not only had I never taken a set off of him, but none of our sets had even been close. The only reason why I wasn't as worried about Ghanem as I was Canis was because he didn't hold an absolutely disgusting set count against me, so there was some hope of beating him. Anyways, like always, let's get into the games. The first game would take place on Battlefield, where I would slowly approach against Jigglypuff's massive back air and end up taking the match. Then, Ghanem counterpicked to Fountain of Dreams, where I would end up winning it with a dare into an edge guard.
Back throw?
Okay, but it doesn't go for any pounds. Yeah,
Wait,
you
Loki
have
out
to
of
jump
jumps.
now. Yep.
Oh, Loki out of
Yep.
jumps.
Yeah.
No way.
Don't worry, you're Jigglypuff.
Now, with Ghanem's back against the wall, he would counterpick to Yoshi's Story? Now, if you know anything about Melee, you know that Jigglypuff hates Yoshi's Story, mainly because she dies so early on this stage. But coincidentally, Luigi isn't too fond of this stage either. Luigi has some problems with Yoshi's Story, and there are three main reasons why. Firstly, since Yoshi's Story is so small, Luigi's misfire commonly goes over it. Secondly, the Shy Guys can block the side B, making it hard to recover. And thirdly, just like with Jigglypuff, Luigi dies pretty early on this stage. Yes, while Yoshi's Story is not as bad for Luigi, it isn't an absolutely terrible counterpick for Puff against Luigi, and Ghanem would end up proving this by taking the match, putting him on the board. Ironically enough though, where Ghanem would have his start, he would experience his end, with me winning the fourth game on Yoshi's Story. However, even though he lost, he would end up getting this great combo.
Nah, felt different. Okay,
Oh
the
my
fucking fuck.
god, that's...
So at least he went out with a bang. But now, I move on to Grand Finals, the last set of the whole tournament, for the first time. This is it, the main event, the one to finish it all. Here, I would face Kyoki, another person I hadn't gone against before. But unlike Zero or 12E, Kyoki didn't play 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 different characters, with all of them being at least high tiers. So not only would I have to be able to beat all of their characters, but I would have to win 2 sets in a row to win the tournament, while Kyoki would only have to win 1 set. Anyways, like always, let's get to the games, for the last time. The set would begin with me playing against their Fox on Final Destination, where my punish game would be the main thing fueling me to win the match. Then, Kyoki would counterpick to Yoshi's Story with Fox. This is the best counterpick you can make as Fox, because Fox likes to get off the top, and Yoshi's Story has a low ceiling. And by combining the two, you end up getting one of the most powerful stage and character combos in the game. However, I would narrowly end up winning, with me taking the match with my last stock. Then, we would go back to Yoshi's Story, where I would face her Captain Falcon. Luckily enough though, with some SDs, I would take the set 3-0. Now, with the bracket reset, I would only have to win one more set, and it would be over. And that set would be Grand Finals Reset. The first match of the set would be played on Battlefield, where I would play against her Captain Falcon again. Just like the last game with Captain Falcon, I would end up taking it with a dare into an up B.
Ooh, doesn't react fast enough. Okay.
Oh my. No tech.
Oh,
Oh,
you're dead. You're just dead. Doesn't matter. Ooh, it's a little bit of spice on it too.
Now, they would change characters to Marth, and they would pick Yoshi's Story for the stage. Now, I would obtain a tight victory with a fair to close up the game. Now, one more match stood in my way of taking the entire tournament, but I would have to face my biggest obstacle, Falco. To simplify, I'm just terrible at the Falco matchup, so this was going to be tough. Game 3 would be on Final Destination, but unlike the other Spacey, I wouldn't be able to take a game off of this one, putting Kyoki on the board. Seeing how I struggled with lasers, I would go to Dreamland to give you some space and platforms to deal with the lasers. Now, if I lost this game, I would be pushed into a Game 5, where there was a very good chance that I would lose the last game, but it wouldn't end up happening, because I would end up taking Game 4 and winning the entire tournament.
Oh god, I'm scared. I can't watch. Oh.
Oh! He's not dead, he's not dead, side B! You can edge cancel right here, right here!
Oh my god. Oh.
While the tournament was only an AMI bracket and only had 12 entrants, winning still meant a lot to me. After going through some self-doubt, I was finally able to prove to myself I had what it takes. I also want to say thank you to everyone who supported me, as I couldn't have done it without any of you. But don't get it twisted, I still plan on competing, and with this win behind me, the sky's the limit for my Melee future. Thanks for watching. Hey, CG271 here. Just want to say if you liked the video, please like the video, because it tells me that this kind of content is good, is that you want to see more. And also, I would hope you liked the video because I put a lot of work into it. It took me about a week to make. Also, if you like this kind of content in general that I'm showing, why not subscribe to the channel? It helps it a lot. Also, I just want to say, you should go check out Sun93's Twitch channel, where you can see 4-stock tournament streams, and you will possibly see me on there. Also, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone who helped me get this tournament win. From helping me practice to just giving me tips. Literally anybody. If you were involved with any of me playing or just running to me online, honestly, I appreciate it so much. Couldn't have done it without any of you. Until next time.